in an aircraft cabin filled with tension at 10,500 feet above the rolling fields of Corowa, Australia. The best skydiving teams in the world are just seconds away to launching from the aircraft door on the final decisive round of the World Championships of Formation Skydiving. For Arizona Airspeed, the team representing the United States, the next 35 seconds of freefall will determine the outcome of years of dedicated training. And for two members of the team retiring after the World Championships, it will bring to a close the dream of skydiving above all others. The World Championships are 6 months away, and Arizona Airspeed, one of only a handful of professional skydiving teams in the world, is in full-time training at its home drop zone in Eloy, Arizona. The team has been together since 1994, when former rivals from the US East and West Coasts decided to put together the best formation skydiving team that the world had ever seen. Since then, Airspeed has been in constant training and competition, winning the last two World Championships, dominating the US Nationals, and always striving to push the limits of their sport to new levels. In an arena that is quite literally at the edge of human performance, these men are professional athletes. This is their job.
Jack is, I think, the drive of the team, and I think Mark is the physical power of the team. I think Kirk is the good-natured sort of happiness, or the thing that creates the happiness in the team, and I think Dan is the heart of the team.
It's a lot of fun. All the attitude and determination we spoke of yesterday, that we're not going to let things get past us, is right on. And I think the little details will come out in the wash, as we spoke of.
Competition formation skydiving is a sport about speed, with a single goal to build as many formations as possible against the clock. With only 60 seconds of freefall during training, and even less for competition jumps, the actual time spent practicing in freefall is remarkably low.
Most people have seen formations in freefall, just various formations, all how people are configured together, what you're gripping on, if I've got somebody's legs, or if I'm on their side, or different configurations you can get into. Each one of those is its own formation, and each one of those is worth a point. And you have a 35-second time clock that starts as soon as you exit the aircraft, and as many times as you can go through the sequence, as many formations as you can build in 35 seconds. And the synchronicity that's required while moving at 120 miles an hour, while not being able to talk, while moving as fast as you can possibly move, is really the trick, is how to stay perfectly together like that.
Falling through the sky at 120 miles per hour, the team members use their whole bodies to carve turns on the vertical wind. To the non-skydiver, the maneuvers look easy.
The degree of difficulty is very, very high. I think it comes down to the fact that you're learning 60 seconds at a time. And then on top of that, there's definitely a sensory overload period in all those jumps where you don't really remember that much.
It took me about 6 years just to get to a level where I could really start becoming competitive at a world level. It's really satisfying when you maintain that, and basically I can't see myself stopping for quite a while, just because I feel very privileged about what I've managed to get together and hold together.
This year alone, Airspeed will be completing 1,300 training jumps in preparation for their final goal, Australia and the World Championships of Formation Skydiving. The Airspeed team members are at the top of their sport, but with few in the way of sponsorship or endorsement contracts and precious little pay, professional skydivers give up much to compete in a sport that the public knows very little about.
The blood, sweat, and tears that go into our training is comparable with many professional sports. The amount of sacrifice and dedication to sport. In fact, I think there may even be more attraction because we're not doing it for money.
Airspeed uses a host of techniques geared to maximizing performance in the air. Small dollies called creepers allow the team members to see the correct on-level perspective and to move like an intricate set of cogs, simulating the jump. Getting the cogs to move in the smoothest and quickest way possible is called engineering the skydive and is a large part of the preparation for a jump. The visualization process is further enhanced and reinforced by rigorous mental focus techniques, which, to an outsider, can look positively strange.
This sport gives us so little time of actual practice. I mean, we're getting 60 seconds of free fall and jump, that we rely a lot on visualization for our training. So the team and all the members are very practiced at it. We've been competing and training skydiving for years, and visualizing is a big part of training skydiving.
In addition, occasional training is carried out in a vertical wind tunnel, where individual and team moves can be carried out in an earthbound simulation of freefall. But the most used training method is to constantly review and analyze video of every jump that has been shot by the fifth member of Airspeed, the team cameraman.
Many of the formations that they take off the airplane break so quick to the next formation. Sometimes they will take off a formation and will break to the next one in a second. So I have 1 second to get in position to capture the formation. So my timing has to be spot on.
Steve makes very, very few mistakes, and when he does make mistakes, he's probably the hardest person on himself.
If I'm too early or too late, I may miss it and cost the team points.
I think winning is just the pinnacle. It's reaching the top after such a long struggle.
Chris Allen has been packing parachutes for Airspeed since 1995. She is a member of the full-time support team that allows Airspeed to complete anywhere from 6 to 18 training jumps per day.
It feels good to think of ourselves as part of the team, but they're the ones that do the hard work. They're the ones that get up every morning and go jogging and get here at 5 o'clock in the morning to do all that. So if they win, it'll be because they've deserved it.
The equipment used in skydiving has come a long way from the old Army surplus rigs that were used to pioneer the sport in the 50s and 60s. The sleek container houses 2 high-performance canopies, a main and a reserve. Helmets are also used to protect from bad landings and freefall collisions. Even the suits themselves are highly evolved, with multiple grip locations on the arms and legs. With the addition of this specialized equipment, the human body becomes an extraordinarily adept flying machine.
When I leave the door of the airplane, I'm entering a sporting arena, and that's how it feels to me. It's three-dimensional with no limits, and I can move anywhere in it I want.
People have always dreamt of human flight, and people have always dreamt of being able to fly.
Just the pure feeling of speed that surrounds you.
That's the real key, is being together.
I kick the air a lot, I feel. Push it, kick it, carve into it.
It is a sprint. It's 35 seconds for four-way. We are way out of breath when we're tracking off.
The closest thing I could associate it with is like snowboarding or surfing, the way you anchor in or carve the air.
But doing it together, it's got to be perfectly together.
So you don't feel like you're falling at all. You feel like you are flying in total control. And that's the beauty of it.
Airspeed has dominated the World Championships in the four-way event for the past 4 years. Always striving for new challenges, the team members decided to raise the stakes after their last gold medal in an audacious attempt to win the greatest challenge of skydiving, winning both the four-way and eight-way events. It is a feat that has never been accomplished in the 25-year history of the World Championships. To that end, 4 other team members were recruited to make up the Airspeed 8 team.
we're doing two different events, which no team has ever really trained hard for two events at the World Championships. The only teams that have never been able to win them both.
We were very, very presumptuous in taking both events because we know that we're risking it all at the World Meet by doing both events. It's really not the way to compete at a World Meet, and we know that. So we're risking, right now the U.S. is sitting on 2 World Championships, and we're really risking that by taking them both.
Complicating the already enormous task of winning both events at the World Championships is the U.S. Nationals. With selection for the U.S. team already decided, Airspeed has little to gain and much to lose.
It's the national championships right before the World Championships, which is, it's scheduled as badly as it could be for us. The last thing you want to do is go to a really big meet right before the really big meet, especially when you have to go 3,000 miles one way for a really big meet, a week before you have to go 16,000 miles the other direction, and still come out with all the fire, completely prepared for both.
Even as Airspeed prepares to leave for Florida and the US Nationals, the team members' focus still remains firmly on the ultimate prize, the World Championships, and gold in the 4-way and 8-way.
Who's going to win the World Championship? I truly believe that we're going to win it. I really believe that we've got it. But it's competition. It's like it's war. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, a day's a day. Anything can happen. But I know we're going to throw out some outrageous skydiving. And the team's strong. The team's focused. Everybody's right on track. If somebody's going to beat us, they're going to have to do something extraordinary.
With the World Championships now only a few weeks away, the Airspeed members arrive at Skydive Sebastian in Florida for the US Nationals, only to find themselves right in the path of Hurricane Floyd.
Hurricane Andrew was a Category 4. This one is a Category 5.
And it's switched over to 5 now?
Yeah. So it's catastrophically, wherever it's going to destroy. It's bad to the bone.
Class 5.
But
That's 5 out of 5.
Now, there's another storm out there too. After Floyd, Hurricane Gert, just 5 to 6 days behind. One storm after another.
5 days
but
behind.
Floyd, almost Category 5 tonight, the most frightening of the year.
What this hurricane really means to us is 3 more days on the ground. We're coming off a 5-day break already, so we have a lot of rest. We really need to be training right now. Truth of the matter is we're bored. We're stuck in a hotel room. Nothing's on cable. Got 158 channels of crap on the TV to look for, and there's nothing to do. So we're gonna stand here and wait until the waves pass the spot, because we're bored.
After 3 menacing days, Hurricane Floyd has turned north away from the coast. The Nationals are back on. That night, with the hurricane still making its presence felt, the official draw is held. Formation skydiving competitions take place over 10 rounds, and each skydive is composed of a unique sequence randomly selected by the draw. Scoring the rounds of competition is done by a panel of judges using the team cameraman's video and a computer system called Omniscore. The time starts as soon as the team exits the airplane, and 1 point is scored for each formation. The next formation in the sequence is shown on the screen, which must be built with all the grips in the correct positions at the same time. When the formation is built correctly, an asterisk for each judge is flashed at the top of the screen. The score increases, and as the countdown reaches 0, Omniscore freeze frames to reveal the final score. Immediately after the draw, the teams crowd into a hangar to work out the fastest way to fly the sequences for each of the 10 rounds of competition. And engineering the same dives is Space Center FX, Airspeed's biggest threat in the four-way event.
We're up and coming, and we're a challenge to them. We're putting a fire under their ass. High risk and high payoff is what FX is all about.
I just want to get started. I'm ready. I just want to jump.
As the teams are working through the skydives, there is a buzz of excitement surrounding a particularly fast round drawn in the four-way event.
The draw is looking awesome. It's we've seen it before. We've done it before. It's fast. It's right up FX's alley. It's all about randoms, and that's where the money's at, and that's what FX does best. So round 6. It's a world record skydive. 6.
Round 6.
That's the one. Everybody's pumped up and ready to go rock the house.
I think you'll see some fireworks in the morning too in the first round. It's a skydive designed around what we do.
It's definitely, there's some rounds in there. They're going to separate the men from the boys for sure.
In a hurry to go back and get some rest and ready to go to bed and get up, ready to fire.
Hungry.
Be on time. If you don't have an alarm clock, find something. There's no speed like
Airspeed! The next morning, battle begins with round 1 of the four-way. Airspeed is wearing jumpsuits and equipment in red, white and blue, the team colours of the official US team.
It looks like 25 or 26, I think, when we took a look at it, but it went right as a round 1 should. We were right on the line, so to speak.
Airspeed's score of 25 is 2 more than the second-place team, and as the team members prepare for the next few rounds, it is just the start they wanted.
Communication is the thing. That's the only thing that sets us apart from other teams that I can really see, is that our process of communicating with each other is so understood by everyone. It's so easy. There's no malice involved around it, and it's so easy to tell each other and have exactly what we think, have straight talk. And with that, you can fix anything.
Skydiving is easy. Just the jumping out and learning to do it is not a difficult task. Excelling at it is another story altogether, as it is with anything. Playing basketball's easy. Being Michael Jordan's not so easy. It's the same as in any other sport or activity.
There's no defense involved. In other words, when you're at a competition, you just go out there and do the best that you can for, 35 seconds a shot for 10 rounds.
We're pushing air, and you're sitting on it, laying on it, and you push on it, and you can be very dynamic with that.
The freedom that flight gives you is just unmatched by anything else. And I think that's what will continue to draw me to it till I'm a little old man. Long after the competition days have come to an end, I think that'll still be the biggest desire.
After 5 rounds of competition in the 4-way event, Airspeed is leading comfortably. But in the 8-way event, things are a little different.
Night's round 6. They had a nice jump, I guess. I haven't seen it.
It's going to tell us how we're going into round 7. And they're having a good jump.
We did 22.
Yeah. Sweet.
What did you guys do?
22. They're now 2 points ahead. So we really have a meet in our hands right now, which is good.
The Golden Knights, the US Army team, were narrowly beaten by Airspeed at last year's Nationals, bringing to an end a 15-year record of victories at the US and World Championships.
Last year we lost the Nationals to Arizona Airspeed, and so as a result they're going to go represent the United States in Australia and at the 99 World Championships of Formation Skydiving. You know, you might think that there's a revenge factor in there, but not really. It's just we don't ever want to lose a meet. You know, our job is to compete and win in 8-way formation skydiving, and so that's what we want to do.
Meanwhile, the spectators gather to watch FX on round 6 of the 4-way event and the possibility of a new world record.
FX broke the world record today. They did 37 points in time. FX! As it stands, the world record's at 36, but on a much more difficult jump. Airspeed, they're random specialists. They have the definite potential to do a 40, but 37 is a really good score.
Now it's Airspeed's turn. With less than a second to build each formation, 37 will be tough to beat.
Nice job.
Never happened. That's right. It never happened.
Hey, nice world record, buddy.
Congratulations. Not scored yet.
Good job, boys.
I scored it.
It was another tearjerker. So proud of them. They did great. They just were flawless. It's beautiful.
Setting the new world record, an incredible 39 formations in 35 seconds, is destined to be one of the final achievements for two of the Airspeed team, Jack and Dan. After dedicating more than 30 years of their lives between them to the sport, they are retiring from competitive skydiving after the World Championships to pursue other dreams.
I think what's really traumatic is I've become extremely addicted to the competition end of things, to lining up in that door, and it all comes down to these 35 seconds. 2 years of training right here, right now, one time. That aspect of things is going to be very, very hard to leave.
And when we're actually standing on the podium and they're hanging the medals on it, which is kind of calling a close to the whole thing, I'll look around at my teammates and be just so happy that I had had the chance to be a part of this team and had this in my life for so long. And I'll have to step away from it a little bit sad, knowing that I'm going to be missing it and that it'll be hard to have anything replace that, because it's been so special for us all.
The last day of competition dawns. In the 8-way, with 2 rounds to go, Airspeed is just ahead of the Golden Knights. But first is the final round of 4-way. And with Airspeed leading FX by 11 points, a clean jump and they will retain their national title. The dive is near flawless, and the Airspeed members win their 6th national championship in 4-way, beating their nearest rivals by 219 to 206 points.
Greatest team that ever lived, standing right here. That'll live forever.
Let's go take all that and rip some 8-way before the day's over.
Okay. Show them who's boss.
With the 4-way title under their belts, the team members can now concentrate their whole attention onto the 8-way. The battle with the Golden Knights is down to the wire. On round 9, the Knights built 4 more formations than Airspeed, closing the gap to just 2 points. And as the 2 teams get ready for the final round, the Airspeed members know they can afford no mistakes.
Let's go. Off we go, boys.
Suddenly, disaster strikes. A momentary lapse of focus causes a misplaced grip, and the team breaks the formation before it has been built. Airspeed loses 3 points in a heartbeat. The Golden Knights have their revenge. Losing the 8-way national title is a crushing blow to Airspeed. It brings home to the team members the enormity of the task that they have undertaken, and the realization that failure in Australia, now just 2 weeks away, is a very real possibility.
Guys, this was great training, and it was exactly what we needed. It was exactly what we needed. And you know what? Sometimes you need to get a little ass kicking in the finish of it.
Some fatigue and some lack of focus, maybe. That's it.
Whatever we do, go home or stay, I want us to stay together. I think it's really important. Furthermore, my own opinion, we are champions, and I have 0 doubts about what we'll be doing in Australia. And this is all part of the learning curve. And we'll learn from it, and we'll go on. And everybody in here, I'm very proud to be on a team with.
Two weeks later, and Airspeed arrive in Corowa, Australia, for the World Championships of Formation Skydiving. For the team members, it is the culmination of years of training and the final destination on the road to becoming double world champions. In the days leading up to the start of the competition, a total of 400 competitors representing 30 countries are busy practicing and acclimatizing to the Australian drop zone. For the Airspeed members, it is also the chance to renew old acquaintances and old rivalries.
Good. Welcome.
Thanks. Welcome. Francis is always the perennial champions in extreme sports. They've always been very good in skydiving.
They have a lot of raw talent, in some regard, sometimes better than us. They have youth, they have talent beyond any other team I've ever seen.
I think it's going to be a battle for number one between the French and Airspeed.
I think this competition will be the most interesting competition we've ever had. Of course, I wish to beat them.
France and the United States have been the dominant forces in the four-way event at the World Championships for the past 25 years. After an 8-year reign of supremacy that had lasted since 1987, the French were beaten by Airspeed in '95, and the US team name has been on the championship trophy since then. The trophies are known in the skydiving world as Excalibur. There are two swords, one for the four-way and the other for eight-way, and the winning team in each event gains the right to hold aloft the sword. With the battle for the World Championship title most likely to be decided between the French and Airspeed, two other teams in the four-way will be fighting for the right to stand on the winner's podium.
We've done about, 2,300 jumps together since '97 as a team.
After years of placing well down in the order, the Norwegians have suddenly emerged as a four-way force to be reckoned with.
Then our team's competition is basically England. We were very tight with them last year, and we hope to scare the Americans and the French as well.
The other team vying for a medal is the team from Great Britain, who, after many years of competition at the World Championships, see this year as their best chance yet for success.
We just want to do the best that we can. We're really confident after the last practice round and all the work we've been doing. We're looking forward to a good meet.
With the four-way event shaping up to be a hard-fought struggle against a clutch of determined teams, Airspeed faces an even greater challenge in the eight-way, the Russian military team. Since the birth of the eight-way event in 1975, the US has never lost the world title. But the Russians have always been fierce competitors, and this year they are stronger than ever.
You know, in skydiving, there's the Russian team, and they're the dark horse. You don't know who they are. They train over there, and they're very hardcore, very good athletes. They're all military.
Very glad to see a lot of people here. That's a good competition.
Airspeed knows that beating the Russians will not be easy.
We feel power.
Winning both the four-way and eight-way has never been achieved in the 25-year history of the World Championships. And with this year's teams more competitive and professional than ever before, Airspeed's dream of winning both events will prove to be an enormous task.
The Americans are doing two events. It's not like winning the 100 and 200 meters. It's bigger than that for a skydiver. It's never been achieved, and it'll be even more difficult this year.
After a week of practice jumps, and with the competition starting with the eight-way event, the first day of the World Championships finally dawns.
It's a big thing we're doing. We will stand on that medal stand on top with two swords, man, I guarantee it.
No details, no conversation. Light the fire in your hearts and let's just come out and finish this thing.
It's sad because, I'm dying for it to start. I'm just really excited about it starting, but the start is also the finish. It's the beginning of the end, and there will be no Airspeed after this, not in the same way.
My guess is they'll win both, but I wouldn't bet a whole lot of money on it. It's going to be tight. That's what makes it fun.
I'm very proud of my son, yes. How could you not be proud of your own son? He's worked for 10 years to get here.
Go like hell. Be tough, be strong, and go like hell. Nothing can stop them.
At the end of the first day, Airspeed is 4 points ahead of the Russian team in 8-way. But with the loss at the Nationals still fresh in their minds, the team members know that the competition for the World Championships has only just begun.
You guys remember where we were just today too, because at the Nationals we got a little bit ahead and got a little bit cocky on ourselves, so it ain't over.
Airspeed hopes that their success in the 8-way will carry over into the 4-way event, which is due to start the next morning.
We knew it was going to be a big fight. That's how we planned it. That's why we chose this 2 years ago. And the 4-way is an all-out brawl. I'm enjoying it to its fullest.
Three rounds into the 4-way competition, and Airspeed has established a 2-point advantage over the French, leading by 66 to 64 points.
Of course, I would like to be 2 points ahead instead of 2 points behind, but 2 points, it means nothing. It means nothing.
Just behind the two lead teams are Great Britain and Norway, tied on 60 points.
It's a horse race out there, and right now some of the horses are very close, and anything can happen. It's very exciting.
As the Airspeed team members get ready to board the aircraft for round 4, confidence is high.
Apparently we had a bus on a cat. Didn't like the cat. I'm not even sure what it was. I don't even know. So it puts us down a point to the French chapter 4. So very exciting.
Airspeed's lead has proved to be a short-lived one. France scores a 19 to Airspeed's 16 and takes the lead for the first time. Over the next few days, the Airspeed members face their fiercest test in their careers as competitors, fighting to close on the French in 4-way while holding on to a slim lead over the Russians in 8-way. After 7 days of hard-fought competition, and with round 8 completed in both events, the World Championships are entering the final stages. In the 8-way, Airspeed remain just ahead of the Russians, but in the 4-way, the French have managed to open up a 4-point lead.
A lot of things that I would say to myself is, think of all the training that we've done, you know. Think of how strong the team is, think of how strong I am. And make sure I'm absolutely relaxed, and then just go at it, go at the jump with raw speed and aggression.
That's it, aggressive. I want spit on the inside of everybody's visor when we get down.
The moment I lie on the air, everything just becomes clear and crystal and quiet and calm. And rage, there's a rage there for sure.
And we're going to cross the finish line going full steam, you know, full force, full power ahead. And we'll cross it, we'll win. That'll be a terrific moment.
The next morning, and Airspeed prepares for the last 2 rounds.
2 more rounds of 8-way and 2 more rounds 4-way. 4 jumps left.
I don't want it to end. Excited. It's good. this is what we've been aiming for the last 2 years, and it's all coming to an end.
I've been terrified for a month over all this because you want them to win so badly.
Round 9 of four-way and a crucial dive for Airspeed. They have slipped behind by 4 points to the French and know that they must outscore them on this skydive to stand a realistic chance of winning. On the same airplane are the British and Norwegians, still locked together in the battle for third place.
There is 2 more skydives to do, so it's possible for them to regain these 4 points. So we must be very careful. It's a very difficult position to defend.
As the Airspeed members board the airplane, they know that the gap between their score of 163 to France's 167 must be closed. For the Airspeed 4, the next 35 seconds of freefall will determine the outcome of 2 years of training and the quest for the World Championships. Airspeed score of 20 will not be enough. France scores a 21, underlining their newly found supremacy. And the Airspeed members know that only a major error can now prevent the French from reclaiming the world title.
We're probably going to get a 15-minute call any minute for our last round of four-way. And looks like we are down by 5 going into this round. So we need to have a really, really, really good jump, and they have to have a really, really bad jump.
With victory for the French almost certain, and with Jack and Dan retiring, round 10 will be Airspeed's last jump together as a four-way team. Over years of competition, the team members have proved themselves in victory many times, but now it's time to prove themselves in defeat.
Let's keep our chins up and smiles on our faces. Right.
They're role models, you know. They're sportsmen. They're all about fair play and cheering everyone else on and getting everyone else involved in the sport. And they've been great. They've been wonderful for the sport. You see when they walk out, everyone is cheering them.
The mutual respect is huge, and the only word to use really is the love between everybody. The support between everybody is huge. Long after the team is done, they will be very special friends forever.
When I leave the door of the airplane, I'm entering a sporting arena, and that's how it feels to me. It's three-dimensional with no limits, and I can move anywhere in that.
People have always dreamt of human flight, and people have always dreamt of being able to fly.
Just the pure feeling of speed that surrounds you.
You don't feel like you're falling at all. You feel like you are flying.
Round 10 is Airspeed's last jump together as a four-way. Their score of 19 to France's 20 will not be enough. And as Jack lands alone at the team tent, he knows that the French have won the World Championships.
Well, I tracked towards the drop zone, and apparently Mark had a malfunction, but I never saw it. So as soon as I recognized where they landed, I dropped my gear and walked out to greet them.
No, it was okay. It was just okay.
This quote from Roosevelt, it's far better to dare mighty deeds, to tempt things that have never been tempted, to take on things that nobody would ever challenge, than to join the ranks with those poor souls that know not neither victory nor defeat, but they live in the gray twilight in between.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
And it's just so true. It's very easy for people to go, oh, well, you guys didn't win. Well, man, you can't win unless you jump in there, and if you try really things that nobody's ever tried before, you're always going to get critics on both sides. Yeah, good for you guys, or, man, that's, why do you guys want to spread yourself so thin? It's because nobody's done it before.
Dude, fucking good job, man. Good job. Dude, good job. Congratulations. Long time coming, huh?
You. Come here. Well done, buddy. You guys jammed, man. You guys earned it. Cheers.
Losing the 4-way is a body blow to Airspeed. But with 2 rounds left in the 8-way and the Russians snapping at their heels, the team members know that now is not the time for emotions.
They will bury everything that they're even thinking about 4-way and concentrate on 8-way right now. That's the only thing they'll focus on right now is 9th round of 8-way. They won't think about anything else. We'll finish it tomorrow.
The final day of competition, and after round 9, Airspeed are still holding on to a slim 4-point advantage.
Thinking about going for the throat on this jump and going home. It's very exciting. I'm just going to keep a lid on it for one more jump.
Let's go out there and do what we know how to do. Build 1 point, and then go to the next one.
Have fun with it and enjoy where we are. Enjoy each other. This is it. This is the last jump.
Too nervous, too excited. There's so many emotions going on. It's unbelievable.
I can't hardly stand it. It's only a few more minutes.
That 10th round will be something to watch. And the adrenaline and the electricity will just be palpable in the air.
Yes. Good luck. Have a good one. Good job. Thank you. Have a good job. Thanks, Chris.
Go get him.
As the Airspeed members board the airplane, they do so with the unbroken record of victories for the United States in the 8-way weighing on their shoulders. Russia has outscored the battle-weary Airspeed on the last 3 rounds of competition, reducing Airspeed's lead to just 4 points. It is a slim margin, and painfully close to the lead lost by the team on the final round of the Nationals just a few weeks ago. After landing, Airspeed, along with everyone else at the World Championships, gather in the spectators' room to watch the judging of the Russian and US skydives. Russia scores a blistering 23, leaving a tired Airspeed the task of scoring over 20 for victory. In the 25 years of the World Championships of Formation Skydiving, no team has ever won both the 4-way and 8-way events. Arizona Airspeed's audacious dream is over. For Dan and Jack, these are their final moments with the team. But as they step down, it will be with the knowledge that they leave behind a legacy not of failure or victory, of points won or lost, but of an amazing journey of challenges overcome, of unstinting commitment and sacrifice, and of unshakable comradeship. In the greatest sense of the word, they are truly champions.